you guys wanna know how you get free Robux in Roblox? Follow my method. Robux go. Idiot! Okay, and now. Get okay, so now it's going to do something about it. So open, no. Okay, apparently I just have to do this. Roblox switch for make sure from designing UX. Okay, and then go on do that. Stick master